13 weeks into the season, who is winning the Micah Parsons trade? Cowboys, Packers?
I think they both looking good right now. I can't.
You split 50-50?
Yeah, it's looking good on both ends.
You know, I'd usually call you on that, but that is a fair assessment.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
I'm
both
going to
looking
back
good.
up that assessment. You know what I'm saying? I think the Cowboys was more of a long-term play. They trade Parsons. Let's build this thing up. Shit, they love what they got so far. They got Williams. They got Clark in the middle. They turning the defense around. The locker room is drama-free. I think that's a major part of it.
It is.
You ain't heard nothing from the locker room. They look like they got great fucking camaraderie right now in Denver, you know what I'm saying? But they not done yet. They still got a first-round pick. They still got a bunch of cap space to finish the deal, you know what I'm saying? So that's a long-term play until we see who they pick up in free agency by saving that money, until we see who they draft with this first-round pick. That's just not complete. I think it's trending in the right direction, though, for the Cowboys. For the Packers, they're a top 5 defense. They 6th versus the pass, 6 in points per game on defense. You know what I'm saying? You can't be mad at that. You got the opportunity to win the North. You beat the Bears twice. You win the North. You beat them one time. Probably you win the North. Man, you 10th in sacks per game. You can't be mad at that. Theirs was more of a right now fix, and I feel like right now they're doing great. They got a damn good defense. When we talk about defenses in the league, you're going to mention Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? Big primetime game. We want you to wreck these motherfuckers. He wrecked one. Thanksgiving, only game on TV, he wrecked that motherfucker. So they both feeling pretty good about the trade right now. It's my opinion. We'll see how Green Bay finish, and then we'll see what the Cowboys do in the future with the cap space, with the draft pick, and then we'll be able to make that decision.
Coach, who won the trade?
I agree with Keeb. I think the big thing that the Cowboys did, they addressed the middle of their defense, which was absolutely horrific the last year. Horrific.
Yeah.
They got rid of that first-round debacle, Smith. They sent him to the Jets, but they used one of the trade picks from the Micah trade to get Quinnen Williams. So now they got Clark and Williams, and Clark is a rotational guy, so they have 4 good. Solomon Thomas comes in, and the other guy that starts with an O, he comes in. So that's a great rotation defensive line. They get Overshawn back. I'm still a little concerned about the secondary, but I love the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are as good as anybody right now. So I got to say, hell, they're happy with the trade, and they got Micah out of there. Micah wanted to leave. I was at Washington. We had Kirk Cousins playing on these damn tags and shit. And don't worry, we'll sign him. We didn't sign him. We let him go to Minnesota, wherever the hell he went, and we got a 3rd-round conditional for him. The Cowboys trade Micah. They get 2 ones and a hell of a defensive lineman. What do you think I could have got for a $250 million quarterback? Dan Snyder.
Come on, Dan.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
There you go.
I think, and then you take it to the Packers, and they get Micah Parsons, the closer. They got a hell of an offense. They're going to be in the lead. They need to close people out in the 4th quarter when teams are trying to catch them, and they got one of the ultimate closers in Parsons. So I know they're happy as hell. They're dancing around. I know Jerry Jones is happy, so I think they're both happy.
How rare. Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
Dang.
Yeah, I think they both happy. Like, if you just look at like sheer numbers, like where we sit right now, if you go to the Cowboys 2024 when Micah was there, they've given up 218 yards passing, 137 yards a game rushing, 27 points a game, which was second to last in the league. But they was 4th in pressure rate. Now you go to 2025, where Jerry said they were horrible against the run. They're giving up 251 yards passing, which is worse. They got 12 yards better or 13 yards better. They giving up 124. They giving up more points at 28. They still second to last, but the pressure rate dropped to 10th. Okay, so you lost that in Micah. They got worse, yeah.
Okay,
but hold on.
Free Quinnen.
But if you go, no, this was I checked it this morning.
The last 2 games.
I checked it this morning.
He's saying when Quinnen got there,
you're adding in all those games without
turned
Quinnen.
to the Incredible Hulk once Quinnen pulled up.
Okay, so where we at right now? If you go off the Packers, which is what they got Micah for, they had last year passing 215 yards a game, 99 yards rushing. They gave up 19, which was they 6th in defense. Pressure rate was 20th. Okay, this year, 186 yards a game passing.
6th.
That's why you go get Micah. Rushing, they're better by a yard. Okay. They're a point less. Pressure rate, they went from 20th to 9th. and they got a closer. So if I'm picking somebody who was in the win now, we need this to work right now, it's the Packers. Because what they went and got Micah for, it's working. They're better against the pass. The run is essentially the same but better. They're giving up less points, but the pressure rate, putting pressure on the quarterback, getting him off his spot is just as important as getting him on the ground. Because he's not comfortable back there. You have to speed up your operation, all these things, and you got a closer, which is what he did on Thanksgiving. So I'm going with the Packers, although I do believe that the Cowboys, they're working this thing and they're happy, but yeah, the Packers, the Micah trade is working out.
I can't believe you said what you just said and you live in Dallas, Texas. I don't know.
Just go and give it to him, Skip. He's executive of the year.
I'm an analyst.
He's the smartest
I analyze the game.
80-year-old living.
All I can say is I have not missed Micah Parsons for one single second this whole football season.
We do know that.
Not before Quinnen got there, you didn't miss Parsons a little bit?
No, because I knew what was coming because Jerry had the nuclear capability to be the executive of the year, and he pulled that trigger when it was time to pull it. So all I know is we now have, as you pointed out, Quinnen and Kenny Clark in the middle of our line with Osa working in. It changed life in Dallas, Texas. And without having to pay Micah the most money ever paid to a non-quarterback in this league, we now can comfortably keep the other move of the year by Jerry Jones, George Pickens. We can comfortably re-sign him for the long term.
Yes.
Because we have the money now to play with that Green Bay does not have. And all I know is that in the last 3 games, this small sample size, but I'm going to take it to my bank. In the last 3 games, we are second in the NFL in stopping the run. And you can say, oh, come on, it was the Raiders. No, well, then it was the 2 Super Bowl teams from last year. So you can see it already starting to take shape. And I'm not saying that we're the 85 Bears. I'm just saying we overnight revamped and revitalized our defense because we added Quinnen with Kenny Clark, who came in the trade, and we still have a first-round pick in this coming draft. It'll be Green Bay's. It'll be somewhere at the bottom. I'm sure it will. But you can't tell me that's not great. And when I talk about leadership, Micah Parsons, trust me on this, no leader. Jerry sat him down and tried to talk him into being a leader multiple times. You either are or you're not. You either are you or you're not. God gave you what you had or he didn't give him what he has. Quinnen has become a leader of the locker room and the huddle already. Kenny Clark is a leader of the locker room and the huddle. So on pure leadership, I'll take it. And then I'll just boil down the stats for you. Last year, for the whole year, Green Bay's defense was 6th in the league in points allowed. Right now, as we speak, they are 6th in the league in points allowed. He joined a really good unit, and yet, did it change radically, dramatically? I don't think it did. And by the way, they just lost their sort of Quinnen, that Devontae Wyatt, he's pretty good as a defensive tackle. I think that, well, he's gone for the year. And man, all of a sudden I look at that Lucas Van Ness has been out for a while, and he's shaky. So all of a sudden, the pressure is going to mount on Micah Parsons. Like the season is just starting for Micah because down the stretch, they play the toughest remaining NFC schedule. And it's to use your favorite word, it's a bitch.
Bitch is a good thing.
I know it's a good thing, but this is
a bad bitch.
Josh Allen is a bitch in trying to stop Josh Allen, but to try to defeat this
schedule's a bad bitch.
They're about to have the Bears, then they go to they go to the Broncos, then they got to go to the Bears, then they got Baltimore and finish at the Vikings. Okay, he better be a closer, right? And here's the point. So he's got 12.5 sacks. Myles Garrett has 19 sacks. Myles Garrett makes $40 million a year. Micah makes $47 million a year. So are you getting enough bang for your buck? Are you really?
Market.
Okay.
It's a whole lot of market.
Okay. All right. Okay. I got it. But if I'm Green Bay, I'm like, damn. I don't know. Did he really deserve $47 million? Is he that guy? Because I'm looking at some of their losses this year. They lost at the Browns to Joe Flacco.
They don't got too many.
Okay, they lost. And in that game, Micah had 2 tackles and 1 sack. I'll give you this. And Myles Garrett just completely outplayed him. Then they lost at home to Carolina, and Carolina has that capability. We know that. But In that game, Micah had 0 sacks and 0 quarterback hits and 0 pressures. And there's an L. All I know is that we scored 40 points. The Dallas Cowboys scored 40 points on Micah Parsons' defense, and he played the whole game and into the overtime. We scored 40. Well, I don't know. And then it's almost like people want to. It's like he got his Wikipedia scrubbed from last year, where it just got wiped out because you read some of the numbers. Listen, they were horrendous against the run last year. They got blown off the field. New Orleans came in and had 190 yards rushing. The Baltimore Ravens came in and had 274 yards rushing. The Eagles had nearly 200 in both the games. The Houston Texans came into Jerry World and had 150 yards rushing. My point is, maybe he needed his fire relit because he wasn't firing us up, I can tell you that. So maybe, to your point, maybe it's the rare trade that benefits both teams where he just needed a change of scenery and we needed out from under Micah Parsons. But I'm telling you, I'm loving what the trade did for my team because all of a sudden we're the hottest team in pro football. I'll take it.
You think you're the hottest team in pro football?
In order to get your pass rushers to rush, you have to be able to stop the run a little bit. That's why Micah probably wasn't as effective last year because they have Mozzie Smith and some other slappy in there trying to stop the run.
But he still has 12.5 sacks.
Horrible.
They were 4th in pressure rate. The Cowboys were 4th in pressure rate.
And we couldn't win a game.
Now they're 10th.
Yeah.
What about when they was in the playoffs for the 3 years prior to last year?
Okay, the Green Bay game at Dallas.
I'm just talking about just getting there.
Okay.
First, you got to get there.
Don't get him wound up on that.
I'm just saying, first you got to get there.
I carefully watched 4 playoff games featuring Micah Parsons. He had 1 sack.
Featuring Dak and everybody else as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got
y'all tied the Green Bay this year, right? It was a tie.
We won that game, 40-40.
Who made the game-saving sack to keep Dak from running?
Game-saving. I know. Don't fire him up
It was
on that.
game-saving.
It was game-saving.
It was game-saving for sure.
It was.
I don't care how you got it.
Touchdowns is game-saving.
Who made the play?
He fell across the line of scrimmage. It's not a sack. It's a tackle from behind. I'll give you that.
I mean, his knee went down.
Tackle him from behind.
All right, guys.
He wasn't going to score. Edgerrin Cooper was going to blow him up.
I just seen him in that same position against the Chiefs. He front flipping that motherfucker scored.
Who?
Dak.
He did the same thing versus the Commanders.
Front flipped in that motherfucker scored.
First down.
Potential MVP. Okay, so Coach, you did mention you were worried about the secondary for Dallas, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so the secondary, right now, Diggs is about to